Hi, my name is Mary Edgerton, and I'm a yoga instructor with Night Sky Yoga here in the Berkshires. Today I'm at the Clark, and I am delighted to share with you a gentle yoga practice that's inspired by the painting Cliffs at Étretat by Claude Monet. Whenever you're doing yoga, please listen to your body, and if you feel uncomfortable with any of the poses, feel free to modify. Before we begin our practice, let's look at this painting together. It's an unusual seascape with a rocky outcrop rising from the water. It's shaped like a pointed arch, and it is highlighted by a strong ray of sun. There are other arches in the painting too that seem to echo this shape. There is the arch reaching from the cliff into the sea, and there are sailboats dotting the horizon. In this painting, the artist chooses to highlight the moment when the sun is shining brightly across the large rocky outcrop. There are many other details in the painting, but this is where he seems to want to draw our eye. Just like a focal point in a painting, in yoga, we focus our attention on the breath. As human beings, we have many thoughts that constantly bubble up in our mind, but if we choose to draw our awareness to the breath, we can cultivate a sense of peacefulness, of mindfulness. Imagine that you are here in this space, in this painting, sitting somewhere along this shore. Allow yourself to smell the salty breeze and to feel the warm sunshine. Imagine you can hear the rhythm of the waves gently lapping on the shore, just like you can hear the rhythm of your own inhale and exhale. Okay, now let's bring this image into our practice today. Please come to a seated position. Lift your heart up, settle your shoulders downward, let your neck be long, face relaxed. Close your eyes if you like. Beginning to focus in on your breath, the deep inhale and the long exhale. Breathing in and out through your nose. Let the breath expand through your belly and then through the side ribs, all the way to the upper chest, and let it travel down through upper chest, side ribs, down through the pit of the belly. This is the three-part yoga breath, deep abdominal breathing, or sometimes we call this Dirga breath. So on your next inhale, please reach your arms wide and up until palms meet overhead, and on the exhale, draw your hands down to heart space. And then 2 more times like that. Inhale, reach your arms widen up, palms meet at the top of the breath. Exhale, draw your hands down to heart space. And then last one, inhale, reach your arms widen up, palms meet at the top of the breath. And exhale, bring your hands down to heart space. Okay, let's reach your arms widen up one last time, but keep arms shoulder width apart. And then come into a seated twist to your right. I'm going to mirror you. So bring your hands to the knee and the floor behind you as you turn your chest and even your gaze towards the space behind you. Just a couple breaths here. And lifting back up to center, a sense of unwinding, coming all the way back up, even with your arms. And exhale to the other side. Stacking your vertebra, nice tall spine, relaxed soft shoulders, maybe looking towards the space behind you. Staying with the breath. Coming back up to center on the next inhalation, and then please open your arms out wide. And let's tip over to your right to bring the palm to the mat and reach up and over with the top arm. Arching over, kind of like in the painting, the cliff, the arch reaches down from the cliff into the water. And can you open your chest and look upward? Good. On the next inhale, come all the way back up and we'll make that shape to the other side, arching over in the other direction, breathing well, beginning to open up your shoulders, your rotator cuff. And on the next inhalation, please come back up to center and bring your hands back to your knees. Let's lift the chin up now. So lifting your chin up, you can close your eyes if you like. Just gently letting your head tilt back, soft jaw, space between your teeth. And on your exhale, lower chin down towards chest. And just two more like that. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And last one, inhale, lift. So with your own breath, you don't have to do it exactly as I'm doing it. Exhale, lower. And with a soft jaw, heavy head, now you can explore a clockwise head roll. So you're exploring your own range of motion, wherever is comfortable. And then go the other way. Wonderful. So please come back up to your neutral head and begin to work into your shoulders, some kind of fluid, watery, liquid shoulder rolls. Get a lot of movement into the shoulder, the rotator cuff, the shoulder blades. And then you can begin now to paddle your elbows back. And even reach your long arms back like you're doing a backstroke. Okay, now bringing your hands to the mat or the floor behind you. Bring your feet out in front of you. This is going to look a little weird, a little foreshortened maybe, but you're just going to lift up into a kind of a table spine. So you're lifting your hips right up, lifting your belly up. And again, as if you're making a kind of arch shape, maybe your head releases back. Just one or two breaths here. And on the exhale, please come back down to your hips. This time, bring your feet together and knees open wide. Wrapping your hands around your feet, coming into a forward fold. This is a classic yoga pose called Bada Konasana, or bound angle pose. And let's take about 3 or even 5 breaths here. In and out through your nose. Okay, lovely. Please come all the way back up now. A sense of stacking your spine once again. And you can draw your knees in towards one another and then just holding on behind your knees. Nice long spine, lean back. So no rounding, really tall, lifted spine, lifted heart. We're coming into boat pose. So you're leaning back, draw your thighs in towards you, and lift your shins to parallel with the ground or the floor. So this is a gentle practice. This could be as far as you want to go, or you could reach your arms out in front of you if you like, or arms up and overhead, tracking by ears. Or even if you want to go further, you could play with expanding your legs outward. Okay, and then if you can, lower your legs long to the floor in front of you and sit up as tall as you can. Okay, so again, I'm going to mirror you. So you'll bring your left foot across your right knee. And then twisting in the direction of your knee, please bring your elbow across the knee as you bring your hand behind you, coming into a twist. Keep reaching out through your heel and lifting your heart. So in this pose, you might feel that this cue would help you. So feel like on your inhale, you're growing a little taller. And on your exhale, you're opening a little more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open. And last one, inhale, lift. And exhale, open. And then coming out gently, slowly from that twist, coming back to center with shoulders. Please bring that foot inside your inner thigh. Square your hips forward, lift your arms overhead, and we're coming into a forward fold over your extended leg. So this is called Janushir Sasana, or head to knee pose. Now, you may not come very far, you may be pretty high up here, and that's fine. Wherever you are is where you are. Close your eyes to enjoy the pose. Feel the deep hamstring stretch. No judgment. Wherever you are is where you are. Okay, let's walk the hands up the leg. And open the leg wide now and draw the toes in. So just kind of tuck them in. And try to get right to your sits bones. So not favoring one side. Root down through both sits bones, reach out through your heel, open your arms wide, and then find ankle or maybe big toe. And then once again, we're reaching up and over into this kind of arch shape. So feel that arching shape as you roll the shoulder up, roll the rib cage open. Okay, and on the inhale, please come all the way up, and we're going to make the opposite shape now, palm to the floor behind you, as you lift up into kind of an opposite arch. This is called Wild Child. Lifting your heart, reaching long through arm, maybe the head even releases back. Can you lift your heart even more? And are you still breathing? Okay, and then coming gently, slowly down, back to your hips. We're going to do the whole thing on the other side now. So extending your other leg, bringing the foot across. Bring your hands around your knee and lift up as tall as you can. And then coming into your twist on this side. So you could just hold onto your knee, or you could bring the elbow across. Some people like to have the arm down. That's just kind of a style thing. But find your tall spine as you look behind you. Try not to lean back. And then coming out of your twist, unwinding. Let's bring the foot inside the inner thigh. Reach the arms overhead and then come into a forward fold. Softening into this shape. Breathing well. Feeling like with the exhale there might be a little bit more give. Deep hamstring stretch, right? And then please come all the way back up and out of that side to bring your leg wide. Toe drop, tucks in, arms stretch out, root down through both sits bones. Really plug your sits bones into the mat. And then please find ankle or maybe the big toe, yoga toe grip, beginning to reach the arm up and over, again like that arch, reaching up and over. Staying with your breath. And on the next inhalation, coming back up and out of that shape to find the Wild Child or the opposite shape on this side. So full palm to the mat, please, not your knuckles or your wrists, but full palm for safety. And then lift your heart, reach back, breathe well. And on the exhale, we'll come all the way down, back down to hips. And come into child's pose. Okay, so we're going to come into child's pose, hips back to heels towards the back edge of your mat. And arms stretched out in front of you. So this pose, some people love this pose, but not everyone loves this pose. If you don't love it, you can bring a little bit of weight onto your forearms to help support you a little bit. And then when you're ready, please come up to all fours. Shoulders over wrists, and you're spreading your fingers, rooting down through your knuckles. And we'll take a couple of cat-cows. So on the inhale, lift your tailbone, lift the crown of your head, lift out of your shoulders, look forward. And on your exhale, round your spine. So you're moving your spine through the kind of concave, convex shape. Inhale, arching. Exhale, rounding. One last time, inhale, and exhale. Okay, so we're kind of moving now through that fluidity of the spine, and then we're coming into sort of more of a a stability. So now draw your lower ribs in towards spine. Feel super stable now through your core, and reach your right leg back. Reach your left arm forward. This is a bit of a balance. So find the balance by being stable in your core. And then we're going to take this further. So bring your left hand to the mat. Bring your right instep behind your left toes. Okay? And then slide your left shin out as you reach your right arm all the way up, and find a sense of lightness through stacking. Arm over arm, shoulder over shoulder, hip over hip. So rolling open here, finding a sense of lightness through alignment, and maybe you can lift that leg. If you want to go further, you could try to catch your foot with your hand and arch back. Okay, don't forget to breathe, and we're coming gently, slowly out through extension now, looking down, lower your hand, lower your knee, hips back to heels, child's pose. And second side, here we go. Up to all fours. Send your left leg behind you, please. And your right arm out in front. It's a bit of a balance. Find yourself here for a couple of breaths. And then you can begin to move into hand to the mat, instep behind you, and then come into this kind of modified half moon shape. So arm over arm, shoulder over shoulder, maybe lift leg. And if you did it on the other side, try to catch your foot. And coming out slowly through extension. Please look to the mat, bring your hands back down, knees back down, hips back to heels, child's pose. Coming back to the breath. And we'll just explore one more arch shape before we come to the end of the class. So please slide up to all fours. Now tucking your toes, let's come into downward facing dog. So lifting your tailbone, let your chest slide back towards your inner thighs and reach down through your heels. You can bend one knee and then the other if you like. Now please slide forward into a plank. Lower knees, lower chest. Inhale, cobra, and back through downward facing dog. On the next inhale, please reach your arms wide enough and catch your right wrist with your left hand. You may want to step your feet just a little bit wider. And let's reach over to one side. And lift up. Change sides now, reaching over to the other side. And lift up. And now reaching both hands around behind you to catch your hands in an interlace. Please draw your hands downward beyond your tailbone if you can to expand your heart upward. So the shoulder blades are going to slide towards one another. It's kind of like a standing cobra. Feel how your heart is lifted, your collarbones are drawing back. And then from here, please take a forward fold, hinging at the hip crease. Coming forward as your hands go up, your head releases down. Couple breaths here, don't forget to breathe. And then when you're ready, take a deep bend in your knees. Sweep your fingertips along the floor or along the mat and come up through chair pose. So tailbone is heavy, long, arms are tracking by your ears. And we'll stay here for just a couple of breaths. So feel the solidity of your low body rooting down into the mat. Okay, and then when you're ready to come out, lift all the way up, and then please bring your hands to your hips. And your feet are kind of a little bit wider than hip width apart. And you can take some hip rolls, a nice fluid movement, opening up the hip flexors, and then go the other way. Okay, so I'm going to face the front edge of my mat once again and step my left foot back. So please, you can do that as well. Hips and shoulders are facing forward. This time you're going to bring your hands around behind you to catch your wrists if you can. Lift your heart, draw the inner hips towards one another, and then take a forward fold over your long front leg. So this is a deep hamstring stretch. Feel how that's true. On the inhale, please lift everything back up again. And we're just changing sides, hands back to your hips. Step forward, step back. Square your hips and shoulders forward. Find lots of lift in your heart space. And maybe you can find the non-dominant grip behind you, the other wrist. Inhale here, and exhale. Again, take a forward fold over your left leg to feel a deep left hamstring stretch. Okay, and then please lift all the way back up again. And step forward. On your inhale, reach your arms wide and up. And on your exhale, bring hands to heart space. So if you want to continue with your practice into your standing dynamic practice, you can wait for us here for a moment and then begin the next video. If you want to finish your practice now, I'll bring you now into Shavasana, so please reach your arms wide and up, palms meet overhead. On your exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, lift long into table, and then take a bend in your knees and walk back into a plank. From plank, lower your knees, lower your chest. Inhale for a baby cobra, and coming all the way down to turn over to your back body. To draw your knees into your chest. To come back to your deep yoga breathing, relaxing face and jaw. And then when you're ready, please come into your Shavasana. Legs and arms can go long. Palms face the ceiling. And you can stay here for as long as you like. Namaste. I hope you've enjoyed this gentle yoga class inspired by Monet's painting, Cliffs at Etretat. And I encourage you to visit the Clark Galleries to view the painting in person, perhaps with a fresh perspective. In the meantime, you can look and learn more about the painting on the Clark's website.